Welcome back to Drawing with My Cats. This week, we'll be drawing a beautiful abstract work of art together while I tell a terrifying story of how I was attacked by vultures and survived. Let's draw together. The colors that you'll need for today's drawing are green and blue. You ready to draw with me? All right. Let's take a deep breath of fresh air. Get your markers ready. We're using Crayola markers, just 2 colors today. I wanted to make a beginner's drawing. A lot of our drawings can be kind of where they involve more skill, and I wanted to show you guys a drawing today that you can do. I'm going to show you 2 versions of this drawing in 2 different colors. We're going to do one with green and blue and one that's purple and blue. Let's draw something awesome. If you guys learn how to do this, you could tape it together and frame it and put it on your wall and be a beautiful drawing for your wall. That's another thing. So let's get started. These guys are having a treat. Focus your attention down here and relax and enjoy the drawing video or draw along. So what we do, you guys know this channel is mainly, what makes this channel is paper spinning. It's just as much about spinning the paper as it is drawing. So we're going to spin the paper as we draw. We're going to start in the middle of the paper. We're going to loop out and spin, okay, with our green marker. Let's do that now. Loop out and spin. Loop out and spin. Loop out and spin. Sometimes you don't have to spin. You just want to keep looping and angling kind of away from you, kind of curving to the right if you're right-handed. I guess I've never thought about how it would be if you were left-handed, but I guess it would work the same, just doing it the other way. And just like that, you guys can see how quickly we drew this beautiful swirling pattern. And we're going to take our blue marker, and we're going to, where we went out, now we're going to push in. Hope you guys are relaxing and enjoying this. Thank you guys for all your love and support. The channel's growing right now, and we're over 3,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take it where we left off with the green, and we're going to move in with our blue marker. Just keep moving in, and you're going to create this green and blue flower blossom type shape. I would love to mention some of your guys' names. Some of you guys I'm getting to know, and you have such beautiful souls and hearts. There's so much crazy stuff going on in the world, so much negativity. I get being an artist and putting your art on YouTube, you'll hear some horrible things. People will say horrible things to you. It takes courage to try to put something out there that you hope people will enjoy. And sometimes people say mean things, and that's how it is out in the world. And many of you guys are very kind and beautiful souls. I thank you guys for all your love and comments and the support of this art channel. So thank you all. I know a lot of you guys by name, and you guys know who you are. You know, in fact, one of you guys made a video about me one time, did a drawing of me, and I was scrolling through YouTube, and I saw somebody drawing my face. Wait a minute, there's someone drawing me on YouTube? Who is that? And I found out who it was, and this person ended up being a beautiful, creative artist and kind person, and I made a video about that, and I sent them art supplies and some treats to their house. So I just really appreciate all that. Anyway, look at this beautiful design. We started with green, and we're going all the way out. You guys know in the second drawing we do 2 drawings. So we take 2 drawings and we form a beautiful abstract art pattern. So we're going to do another drawing, so don't worry. We'll have a little more time together today. These guys are just relaxing. Look at Leo. He's licking his lips. He loves that. He got him a little sardines. Sardines are healthy. They're really good for you. I eat sardines sometimes, but man, the flavor, sometimes it's just, I would recommend you getting some good ones because sometimes they're hard to stomach, but they're good for you. Anyway, check this out. Beautiful, beautiful, flower type swirl. That's for our first drawing, okay? Now we're going to do our second one. Let's set this one off to the side. We're going to take these 2 drawings and put them together in a pattern to form a beautiful abstract piece of art. I bent my paper a little bit. All right. Let's have a drink of a sip of your cozy drink if you have one with you, and we'll go on to the second drawing now. So you guys know, the first drawing that we do, I usually do more of a drawing tutorial. I just kind of talk about how we draw and tell about art and stuff. And you guys know, art is a unifier for us. There's no color barriers. There's no, you don't have to be skilled to make art. You guys see what we do. You don't have to have skill. You can put a mark on a piece of paper and hang it on the wall, and you're an artist if you ask me. So, because I love abstract art, I love contemporary art. If someone can tape a banana to a canvas and make millions, then we can all do that, right? I know that there is skill. I appreciate the skill for these amazing oil painters and artists of the past, the masters of art. That's amazing. I salute those people, but anybody has the right to make art in my mind, and that is our unifier, right? Art is made for everybody. So that's what we're doing today. And I'm going to tell a little story as we draw the second drawing. The second drawing is a marker weaving, and a lot of you guys have seen me do it. We're going to use two colors to create a weaving pattern. And we're going to put it together with the first drawing and make an awesome piece of art. So the first thing you want to do is loop 3 or 4 loops up and down like that. We'll start with a blue marker today like that. And I kind of you're going to hear me snapping these lids on and off here because I don't like my markers to dry out, especially when you get a new pack. Make sure you're putting your markers lids back on. And also, if you want to have good ink in your markers, face them down. Like when you're storing your markers, don't face your marker pack up. Face it down so the ink runs to the tip, and then you'll always have real bright colors like that. All right, so we're just doing up to the left, and then we're going to go up again, showing you a little bit, and then I'll start telling this story that I have that's crazy. I always tell a story of something crazy that happens to me that it's hard to believe. And today, I'll tell you guys, I had something. It's just hard to believe this would ever happen to a human being, but it did happen to me again. Last week I had a horrible, you guys heard the one before where I spilled all that tallow oil all over myself. This one's just as bad. So my father-in-law, and this is something in the Midwest where I live, I'll tell you, I live in Michigan, and there's other states in this that have morel mushrooms or wild mushrooms that you can go out and you can hunt mushrooms in the woods every spring. And I was always raised on being able to do it. I loved it since I was a kid. My grandpa and my dad would take me out into the woods, way deep out into the beautiful woods. We'd see deer and turkeys, and we'd pick these wild mushrooms, these mushrooms, and they were like, kind of looks like a sponge almost. It has a stem on it, and they're just beautiful mushrooms, and they're very valuable. They're worth $50 a pound. And anyway, so we would go out looking for these mushrooms, and then you'd come home and you'd clean them, and then you could fry them, and they're just delicious. Or you can saute them and put them on steak. So I've done that for years. Well, my father-in-law, when I met my wife, I found out my father-in-law, he's a mushroom hunter, and every spring we'd go mushroom hunting, and it was just such a wonderful time after being stuck inside all winter. You could go out in the woods and find these mushrooms that were so amazing, and you'd have a treat. And anyway, we were way back in the woods like we always did. And we were back there mushroom hunting one day, and I saw this huge old oak tree. It might have been an elm tree. I don't know. You always find mushrooms around peeling elm trees and apple trees if you guys are new to this in Michigan or Indiana or somewhere. Look for a peeling elm tree and an apple tree, and you can find mushrooms, morel mushrooms. And but I noticed there were some birds up there. In fact, they were vultures. Big vultures were up in the top of this tree. And that was unusual because I usually never saw vultures that deep in the woods like that. And I didn't know what they were doing, but I could see that was a potential tree that would look like it would have mushrooms all around it. So I was working my way over there, and my father-in-law I kind of left him back. He was looking at another tree, looking for mushrooms. And I got closer to the tree, and I heard those vultures just start going into this horrible sound. It was just this horrible gawking sound. And I thought, what? I'm looking up there, and I can see these, at the time there are leaves on the trees, and the leaves were moving, and the whole tree's shaking up there, and I'm underneath this tree, and I'm looking for mushrooms down there, and all of a sudden my father-in-law starts yelling at me. He's yelling, "Get out of there! Get out of there, Brent! They're gonna get you!" And I thought, what's going on? Next thing I know, And I don't know, you guys aren't gonna believe, you guys will not believe what a vulture does to defend its nest. I didn't know that there was a nest up there. I didn't know they had babies up in that nest. Way up in the top of the tree, they don't care. I'm at the bottom of the tree. You guys know what a vulture does? They do something worse than attacking. They regurgitate what all dead carcasses they live off of. These vultures that were up there all of a sudden they started spitting out this horrible smelling foul liquid all over me. And I'm 50 to 80 feet below the tree, and they're showering this stuff down on me. Do you think I'll ever be the same after that? Or would you guys ever feel the same if something like that happened to you? I looked over at my father-in-law, and I promise you guys, he was on the ground, rolling in the leaf cover, just rolling, laughing, crying, laughing. And I'll tell you what, of all the humiliating things to have happened to you in your lifetime, to be barfed on by a vulture, it happened to me. So you guys be careful if you're out mushroom hunting and you get near any vultures. I didn't have a lot of that stuff on because they're not going to throw just like waterfall coming out of the tree, but enough of it came down where it's horrible smelling. Worse than anything you'd ever smell, and also just rancid to be covered in that stuff. But I didn't have it all over me that bad, and I was able to get a couple water bottles and try to rinse it off. But we did end up finding quite a few mushrooms that day, and so it ended up being worth it, and we had a laugh for the rest of the trip, and that's something my father-in-law never forgot, and we laughed about it still. We always laughed about it, and he's in heaven now. My father-in-law, he was a wonderful man. I loved him so much. And you know, when you lose somebody that you're close to like that, you just kind of have that emptiness. You know, they're missing from your life. And not long after he passed, that it's funny how your life changes. Because I got sick. I had long COVID, and I can't go out mushroom hunting anymore because I just don't have the energy. I don't feel well all the time. So, but you look back on your memories and just be thankful to God that you have these awesome memories of all the adventures of your past. And I'm hopefully going to get better because one of these days I want to take my son mushroom hunting, but I am not going to take him where there's any vultures. How about that? Well, I hope you guys enjoy that story. We're just finishing up this drawing today. You guys can see we're just going up. Let me go show you guys one more time how we're doing this weaving so you guys can get it, because I loved it. This is the whole reason I started this channel, is to be able to teach you guys how to do this stuff at home. And I'll do the next line. We'll just do a tutorial for the next line. So what we're going to do is, so this line faced up and down with blue, so then you're going to want to switch colors, and you're going to want to go to green, and you're going to want to go to that direction. You're switching directions and you're switching colors. So then we're going to want to go to blue and go this direction. You're just kind of scribbling, but you're creating a weaving. And then you want to turn your paper and go this direction with green. And then after green, you go back to blue. We're almost done, you guys. We're going to put this drawing together in a time-lapse picture with both our patterns. And then I'm going to show you guys what it would look like with another color combination, so you guys can see it two different ways. So you guys can see what it looks like and I use the most common colors out of a Crayola box you could ever use, just green and blue, so you guys, to make this easier on you guys today. So we're going to take our first drawing, this beautiful blossom that we made, and then our marker weaving. We're going to put this together on 9 pages of paper in a time-lapse drawing, and then you guys are going to see that, and then I'm going to follow that with another color combination of the same drawing so you can see what it looks like with different colors, and then I'll see you back here after you see it. I hope you like it. I'll see you in a minute. All right, you guys, wasn't that cool? Just gives you guys an idea of something that you can simply try to make for yourself at home, and just using budget-friendly art supplies. This way we kind of, by doing budget-friendly art supplies and doing tutorials with this, then it can lead you to other bigger, better challenges in your art life. Like you can move on to paint and doing different paintings with paint or different art mediums. This is just a beginning. My whole channel is about inspiring anybody with creativity and art. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and drawing along with me today. I hope this art inspires you and you feel creative. Get your art supplies out and draw yourself something beautiful today. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Love and peace, everybody.